There have been various schemes that have been proposed in the recently released budget. Now, one of the scheme that was proposed is Pradhan Mantri Janjatiya Unnat Gram Yojana, that is PM-JUGA. Okay, so now this of course was also announced, and now this is being launched and it will be implemented in the coming 5 years. So let us see what this is all about, who are the beneficiaries and what will be the provisions under this scheme. So this scheme, we need to understand, it is for the tribals. This particular scheme is for the tribals. Now, there have been a long-standing question about the tribals, which of course we have resolved it and we do proceed in a particular way. But initially, especially after independence, there was a question about the integration of the tribes. So how to integrate the tribes? Now, there were various thought processes of integration of tribes. So if you look at the thought process of certain Western philosophers, Western sociological thinkers, they were talking about the separation of the tribe from the mainstream society. Mainstream, or you can say the complex society. But that concept was considered to be sort of unethical, because that concept was labeled as like a zoo for the tribes. Right, separating them, keeping them aside, not letting them integrate, assimilate. Now, we may say that some tribes would want to be untouched, so what would want and no, don't want any interference. All right, that also makes sense. There are still certain PVTGs, right, who do not, wherein actually there are regulations that no one just like that can enter that place or that particular region. So fair enough, that is also there. But can you do this for all the tribes? There are certain tribes who would not want that, who are in need of certain help with respect to food, clothing, shelter, infrastructure. They would also want development. So this was a very complex question. And even the PVTGs, what should we do if they are saying no, keep them keep us alone, stay away from us? Should we do that, or should we still try to sort of nudge them into coming into the mainstream in the coming decades? That is actually an ethical question, because what we may feel is development may not necessarily be development for them. So that is a big ethical dilemma. Whereas the rest of the, so that question, presently still exists for the PVTGs, that is the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. But the other tribes have been now assimilated, integrated, and that process has not stopped, it is continuing, right? Further development of those tribes in the region where those tribes stay, that is a continuous process and is going on, and this particular scheme is going to help in that. So what is PM-JUGA? It is based on the learning of a previous scheme. Previous scheme was PM-JANMAN Yojana, that is Pradhan Mantri Janjati Adivasi Nyay Maha Abhiyan. So this is a learning. So learning as in you invest some money, you see the output, you see the shortcoming, you improve on that and either modify that scheme or come up with a new scheme. So they have come up with a completely new scheme. So what is it going to do? What is the aim? The aim is to improve the socio-economic condition of the tribal communities. It is to improve the socio-economic condition of a tribal communities, means it is an all-encompassing scheme. It will be an all-encompassing scheme. It is not a specific scheme wherein you are providing one particular thing, a health benefit or one particular thing in education. No, it will be holistic, all-encompassing, meaning it will also provide you skill development, it will also take care of the infrastructure development, etc., etc. It is an all-encompassing. That is what is going to lead to socio-economic development. By adopting saturation coverage for tribal families in tribal majority villages and aspirational districts. So this will be implemented, of course, in tribal majority places, villages, and aspirational districts. What are aspirational districts? Aspirational districts are the districts which are the most backward districts, right? The most backward districts, over 100 are aspirational districts wherein you need more focus. So this scheme would be applicable to tribal majority villages and aspirational district. Now, Coming on to the situation or the status of the tribal population. So we have over 10 crore tribals in India, and that too is as per 2011 census. Now it's been 13 years. We are literally crying for a new census, which has still not happened, right? So, but as per 2011, there are 10.45 crore tribals living in India, and there are more than 705 tribal communities. All right. Having said that, let us now look at what this scheme is going to bring. First of all, it is talking about an expenditure, a total outlay. The total amount that the government will be spending here is to the tune of 79,000 crore. It's 79,150 something, but approximately 79,000 crore. So that's why 79,000 crore plus. Now, out of this 79,000 crore plus, 56,000 crore will be the center's outlay. 56,000 from the center, the remaining 23,000 will come from the different states. Right. Now, the total population of this 10.5 crore, this scheme is going to benefit around 5 crore of the tribal population, and is going to cover 63,000 villages. At the same time, going to cover all the state and union territories, 30 state and union, all, you can say 30 state and union territories, not all, 30 state and union territories. Now this expenditure and this beneficiary would be covered in the coming 5 years. So this is a 5-year plan, meaning on an average every year 16,000 crore would be spent. I hope that's absolutely clear. Now, when it comes to implementation, there will be total 25 interventions. As I said, it is an all-encompassing scheme. So, it will have different interventions, total 25 interventions implemented by 17 line ministries. So, 17 different ministries will be involved, which actually shows us how varied this scheme will be. When the further rules and guidelines come out, we will again update ourselves with respect to that. For now, we need to understand 25 interventions with 17 line ministries, right, through which the funds would be allocated under Development Action Plan for Scheduled Tribes in the next 5 years. So, whatever outlay was there, it's going to happen over the next 5 years. Now, the villages that will be covered, the regions that will be covered will be mapped. It will be mapped, and the progress will be monitored on the PM Gati Shakti platform. So what is PM Gati Shakti platform? See, PM Gati Shakti is a scheme which talks about building of connectivity infrastructure, roads, runways, bridges, railways, connectivity, improving the connectivity. And to track the progress of that project, you have the PM Gati Shakti platform. And the progress of this particular scheme would also be updated and monitored on the PM Gati Shakti platform. So this is related, right? Now these days, when you will see schemes, you will see a lot of integration. So in question, if it is there, the tribal scheme monitored through Gati Shakti platform, yes, remember it. Do not think it is completely separate. A lot of things are getting integrated for better efficiency. Of course, it is a unique example of cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism means working in unison together with respect to the central government and the state government. So 79,000 outlays there, 56,000 by the center, rest by the state, and other roles would be there for the state as well. Roles as if, for example, identification of beneficiaries, implementation, right? All those things would be transferred to the state to do it, even though the major chunk of money is that of the central government. Now this has 4 goals. This has 4 goals. Goal number 1 is developing enabling infrastructure. Developing enabling infrastructure like pakka houses, right? Pakka houses, pakka roads, all those things are very important. Second is economic empowerment through skill development. Economic empowerment through skill development, again very important. Entrepreneurship promotion and enhanced livelihood through self-employment. This is very important. See, what happens is, due to any unforeseen reason, sometimes it is also due to the acquisition of land for certain purposes, the tribals do get displaced, and for them it's not just the land that is being taken away, but the food, clothing, shelter, land, everything, their entire life is getting taken away. Imagine us living in a city wherein, let's say, because of the passing of a road, a land is taken away from us and we are given compensation. Fine, you can get another place and start living. You can do something else. Your job does not get affected, and you can do the same thing. Your job does not get affected. You can still go to the same office. But when it happens to the tribals, when their entire forest is taken away, they don't know what to do. They cannot shift to a different village. They cannot shift to the cities. They cannot start earning. They were completely dependent on the forest. So for them, it's more than a land. It is more than land. Right. So what here that is being trying to do? This is not to prepare them for grabbing their land. No, that is not the point. The point is things could happen because of certain other unforeseen reason wherein they can get displaced, and even if not, they can have certain other skills to do certain other activities if they want to. That is the whole idea behind it, and also become self-employed as well. Universalization of access to education. Provision of education also for them is another goal. And finally, goal number 4 is healthy lives and dignified aging. Aging is also a social issue wherein the aged feel more deprived. If let's say there is a family which is poor, now an adult in a working age group, let's say a 35-year-old person, 35 years old is also poor. There is an 80-year-old person who is also poor. Now they both have very less to eat, living in the same house. Now this person is not even much able to do something about it. More helplessness, and would also be dependent on them to do something. More dependency. Right, all these things. Now if this person tries to migrate to some other place for a job, this person would then be left alone. Easy target for certain crimes or as robbery, etc. is possible. So aging is another issue, and if at that age you do not have anything to eat, right, a young adult can do something about it. A young able adult can do something about it, but this person will not, and would be leading to indignified life. So that is what they are talking about, dignified aging, healthy lives and dignified aging, so that even they are getting the benefits, the food, the clothing, the shelter, the proper health care facilities, in order to ensure they live a dignified life even at a later on elderly age. All right, so this is all about PM-JUGA. Thank you so much.